The Young and the Restless spoilers Friday's full episodes February 7, 2025. A new dawn in Genoa, family ties, secret agreements, and the quest for healing in the ever-evolving drama of Genoa, where power struggles, secret alliances, and deeply personal battles intertwine. A new chapter has begun, one where difficult choices, hidden sacrifices, and the hope for redemption take center stage. Amidst this complex tapestry of relationships, several families find themselves at a crossroads, each facing challenges that test their bonds and reshape their destinies. Adam's bold decision, a fresh start amidst turmoil. After wrestling with his inner demons and the burdens of past mistakes, Adam made a decision that would reverberate throughout the community. He managed to cast aside the troubles that had long weighed on his heart, choosing instead a path that promised renewal and stability. This was not merely an act of self-preservation, it was a deliberate, brave step toward a future where personal happiness and the well-being of his loved ones could finally take precedence. In a move that surprised many, Adam entered into a secret agreement with fellow parents Connor and Chelsea. The arrangement was simple yet profound. They would all come together to create a nurturing environment for their children, far away from the toxic influences that had previously defined their lives. Although the decision was made behind closed doors, its impact was destined to be felt by everyone in Genoa. For Connor, a young boy who had long suffered under the weight of mental illness, the promise of a loving, supportive home was nothing short of transformative. Connor's situation was especially poignant. Unburdened by a full understanding of the gravity of the decision, he embraced the change with innocent optimism. For him, the idea of living in a happy environment, surrounded by caring parents who were willing to sacrifice their personal lives for his well-being, was the ultimate dream. His future hinged on one critical factor: creating the conditions necessary for him to overcome the deep-rooted challenges of his mental health. His parents' willingness to forego their own comforts to provide him with the stability and love he needed was a testament to the powerful bonds of familial sacrifice. A fragile hope for healing. The price of love and sacrifice. The new living arrangement was more than just a logistical decision, it was a lifeline for Connor. His condition, a complex tapestry of mental health challenges, required an environment of consistency, understanding, and unconditional support. Adam, Connor, and Chelsea understood that the road to recovery was paved with daily acts of love and the unspoken promise of always being there for one another. In this fragile ecosystem, every shared smile, every whispered word of encouragement, and every quiet moment of togetherness played an essential role in paving the way toward healing. For Adam and Chelsea, the sacrifice was personal. They had to relinquish the independent lives they once knew, immersing themselves fully in the responsibilities of raising a child whose needs were paramount. It was a bittersweet transformation. The loss of personal freedom was offset by the deep, fulfilling knowledge that they were actively contributing to the healing of a precious young soul. In this redefined version of family, the traditional boundaries of self-interest blurred, giving way to a collective spirit of resilience and hope. Jack's redemption and the healing of old wounds. Elsewhere in Genoa, another family drama unfolded, a story of redemption, reconciliation, and the slow, painstaking journey toward forgiveness. Jack, a steadfast and compassionate figure, had finally succeeded in reaching out to Billy, his estranged brother. Billy, once mired in bitterness and resentment, began to shed the layers of hate that had defined his past. Under Jack's gentle guidance, Billy found a path to a simpler, more peaceful existence, one where old grudges could gradually be replaced by the possibility of a renewed family bond. Jack's unwavering belief in the strength of their big family was both inspiring and infectious. He frequently reminded both Billy and those around him that, despite the tumultuous history, their parents would have been proud of the progress they were making. This vision of a united, loving family stood in stark contrast to the bitter disunity that had once plagued their lives. Yet, even as Jack celebrated these small victories, a shadow of sorrow loomed over the family home. John Abbott, the patriarch and father of both Jack and Billy, was tormented by the ongoing discord between his sons. His heart ached each time he saw the remnants of old wounds preventing his children from fully embracing one another. The once vibrant promise of familial unity had been marred by years of conflict and misunderstandings. John's silent grief was a reminder of the high price that comes with estrangement, a price that no amount of reconciliation efforts could easily erase. The Newman family, a legacy in limbo in the midst of these personal reconciliations and renewed hopes. Another saga was unfolding in the storied halls of Genoa's most influential dynasty, the Newman family. With a legacy built on power, ambition, and a relentless pursuit of respect, the Newmans found themselves in an unusual predicament. The quest to find a worthy heir, someone capable of not only inheriting the vast empire but also commanding the deep respect of the people, had proven to be more challenging than anticipated. Nikki, with her grace, intelligence, and apparent suitability, emerged as the frontrunner in the eyes of many. Her potential to lead the family into a future of renewed glory was clear, and many believed that she embodied the qualities necessary to bridge the gap between tradition and modernity. However, Victor, ever the cautious and enigmatic figure, remained skeptical. His distrust of Nikki, whether born from personal biases or shadowed by deeper family secrets, cast a pall over the prospect of her assuming the mantle of leadership. The internal strife within the Newman family was emblematic of the larger, more pervasive issues facing Genoa. Trust, loyalty, and the burdens of legacy were constant challenges that tested even the strongest bonds. With Victor's reservations lingering and the question of true leadership unresolved, the Newman family's future hung in a delicate balance, its fate as uncertain as the shifting alliances of Genoa itself. The interplay of fate and choice at the heart of these interwoven stories lies a common thread, the complex interplay between fate and personal choice. Adam's decision to embrace a new family structure, Jack's efforts to mend the fractured bonds with Billy, and the ongoing quest for a worthy heir in the Newman dynasty all illustrate the transformative power of sacrifice, love, and the pursuit of a better tomorrow. Each character's journey is fraught with challenges that test their resolve and force them to confront the sacrifices required for true growth. For Adam, the future is not just about rebuilding his own life, it's about creating a sanctuary where Connor's mental health struggles can finally find a remedy. For Jack and Billy, it is a journey toward forgiveness and the reclaiming of a shared past that, despite its scars, still holds the promise of unity. And for the Newmans, it is a battle to uphold a legacy that has defined their identity for generations, even as internal doubts and external pressures threaten to tear it apart. As Genoa braces for the challenges ahead, the residents are reminded that the path to redemption is rarely straightforward. It is a journey filled with unexpected twists, painful sacrifices, and moments of profound beauty born out of shared humanity. The choices made today will shape the future of each family, each legacy, and ultimately, the destiny of the entire community. In this intricate dance of power and vulnerability, every decision carries weight. Adam's bold choice, made in the face of personal and collective hardship, is a testament to the idea that sometimes the most difficult paths lead to the most rewarding destinations. As families come together, often at the expense of their own personal freedoms, they forge bonds that transcend the superficial divisions of wealth and status. The struggles of these families, whether it is the personal redemption sought by Jack and Billy, the unyielding hope embodied by Adam and his unconventional family arrangement, or the internal conflicts of the Newman dynasty, all serve as a vivid reminder that in Genoa, every heartache and every sacrifice is ultimately a step toward a brighter, more unified future. As each character grapples with their own demons and dreams, the city watches, holding its breath in anticipation of the next chapter in this never-ending saga of love, loss, and the relentless pursuit of redemption. Victor's final choice, a legacy hanging in the balance time, is relentless, even for men like Victor Newman. A titan of industry, a patriarch who built an empire from nothing, and a man whose very name commanded respect, he had always believed himself to be invincible. But now, his body was betraying him. He could feel it deep in his bones, the slow but undeniable approach of the end. For a man like Victor, death was not something he feared. He had fought too many battles, survived too many betrayals, and conquered too many enemies to cower before something as inevitable as mortality. What truly haunted him was the possibility that everything he had built, his empire, his family's name, his dynasty, would crumble once he was gone. And so, he knew he had one final mission, to put everything in order before his time ran out. The unavoidable question. Who will lead the Newmans? Victor had spent years searching for the right person to take over his empire. Nick had always resisted the weight of responsibility, choosing instead to carve out his own identity away from Newman Enterprises. Victoria had the ambition and the experience, but recent events had shaken his trust in her ability to maintain control. Nikki, as strong as she was, wasn't the answer either. Her past struggles and her deep emotional ties made her too vulnerable to the sharks circling their family. That left Adam. Victor had always seen something of himself in his youngest son. The intelligence, the ruthlessness, the ability to see through lies and play the long game. Adam had always been the one who could survive in a world that played dirty because he had learned, from an early age, that survival often required getting his hands dirty. But Adam was also unpredictable. He was the one Victor had pushed away the most, yet the one Victor admired the most. If Adam had one fatal flaw, it was his inability to truly trust anyone. He had been burned too many times, and in return, he had spent most of his life walking the line between family loyalty and self-preservation. Still, Victor had to try. And so, he summoned Adam to his office, his voice carrying the weight of a man who knew this conversation could very well be his last chance to secure his family's future. Adam's answer, a different kind of legacy. When Adam walked into his father's office, he immediately knew something was different. There was no battle-ready posture, no cold calculation in Victor's eyes. Instead, there was something rare, something Adam wasn't used to seeing from his father, a quiet urgency. The years of playing the game, of being tested and questioned, of never quite being good enough in Victor's eyes, none of that mattered now. Victor got straight to the point. Adam, when I'm gone, will you protect this family? It was not just a question. It was an offer. A final test. A final opportunity for Adam to step into the role he had been denied for so long. But Adam didn't hesitate. I can't, he said simply. His tone was not defiant, nor was it dismissive. It was merely the truth. Victor's sharp gaze locked onto his son, searching for an explanation. Adam continued, his voice firm but calm. Right now, my priority is Connor. He needs me. He needs stability. And that means I can't be chasing power or protecting people who have never really protected me. This isn't about ambition, Dad. This is about what's right. I won't let my son grow up the way I did. For once, Adam had nothing to prove. He wasn't making excuses. He wasn't trying to convince his father of his worth. He had finally found something more important than the Newman name. For a long moment, Victor said nothing. This was not the answer he had expected, but perhaps, deep down, it was the answer he had always known he would get. Because, in many ways, this was exactly why Adam was the son most like him. He had built Newman Enterprises by putting his family first, not by coddling them, not by catering to their weaknesses, but by doing whatever was necessary to ensure their survival. And now, Adam was doing the same thing for his own family. Victor slowly leaned back in his chair, his expression unreadable. You're not hungry for power anymore, he observed. Adam shook his head. No, a small, almost imperceptible smile played at the corners of Victor's lips. Good, he muttered. What comes next? The final decision looms. Victor had hoped Adam would take the mantle, but he respected the answer he had been given. Now, he had to make a decision, one that could alter the course of the Newman legacy forever. Would he turn back to Victoria, knowing that she was capable but possibly too reckless? Would he try to groom Nick, even though his eldest son had never truly embraced the company? Or would he finally admit that, despite his reservations, Nicky was the only one who could hold the family together in his absence? Victor had always believed that power must be earned, not given. Yet, as his time ran out, he was faced with the harsh reality that, if he didn't choose someone soon, the dynasty he had built could fall apart the moment he was gone. One thing was certain, Victor Newman did not intend to leave this world without securing his legacy. And so, as the great titan of industry sat in the quiet solitude of his office, he prepared to make his final, most important choice. Because when he was gone, the war for the Newman Empire would begin. And only one person would be left standing.